Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs has vetoed a bill that would ban transgenders from changing the gender on their birth certificate. Elections have consequences, folks. And back in 2022, Katie Hobbs was locked in a very, very tense race with, who can forget, Crazy Lake, Donald Trump sycophant, who was defeated by a very, very razor thin margin in what would end up being a very nationally attention generating election. And a lot of it was due to Crazy Lake's crazy claims that she constantly makes on a daily basis, looking to woo the MAGA extremists into her camp and push her over the edge to become governor. And she is eventually going to seek to run for Senate, I believe. And elections have consequences. And Katie Hobbs is able to pull this one out by, again, a very, very razor thin margin. And what we're seeing now is that Arizonans are already benefiting from slamming the door on Kari Lake's MAGA extremism. Let's head on over here to advocate.com. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs vetoes anti-trans bill and tells lawmakers to focus on real issues that matter. On Friday, Katie Hobbs vetoed 3 anti-transgender bills that had cleared the state's Republican-controlled legislature. One of the measures would have prohibited transgender individuals from updating the gender marker on their birth certificates, a process already mired in legal and bureaucratic hurdles due to the existing law. The other 2 laws targeted trans people in higher education and workplaces, continuing a broader pattern of attempts to restrict their rights in public life. Hobbs, who positioned herself as a consistent and vocal opponent of the anti-transgender agenda pushed by the right, has repeatedly used her veto authority to block similar efforts throughout her time in office. House Bill 2438 passed both the Arizona House and Senate along strict party lines. The legislation states that in order to protect the integrity and accuracy of vital records, the sex designation of a person may not be changed on the person's original birth certificate as a result of sex change surgery. In effect, the bill would have struck language from earlier statuses that explicitly allowed transgender individuals to change the gender marker on their birth certificates following surgical procedures. Hobbs, vetoing the bill, issued the following statement: "Today, I vetoed House Bill 2438. This bill will not lower costs, will not increase opportunity, and will not enhance security or freedom for Arizona. I encourage the legislature to focus on real issues that matter and impact people's everyday lives." I absolutely love this line of attack Hobbs is taking here, because what did Donald Trump and the Republicans campaign on in the 2024 election? They campaigned on bread and butter issues, because they knew how much the economy was on everyone's mind and how much inflation was an issue for Joe Biden. So what did they hammer home on? They hammered home on groceries. We're going to lower the cost of groceries. We're going to lower your energy costs. We're going to secure the border. We're going to hit these issues that are facing everyday Americans. And a lot of us on the left are going, yeah, right. Look at all the stuff that that Donald Trump did in his first administration, and look at how much the Republicans have not done to accomplish what they were saying they were going to accomplish for decades and decades. And so for Hobbs to say, let's focus on some issues that are affecting the American people, transgender ideology issues is not something that affects Americans across the board. The transgender population is a very, very small population in the country. And does that mean that, oh, we shouldn't worry about them, or they shouldn't have rights, or it's not, they're not an issue, it's not an issue that we should worry about? The plight of transgender people should not be worried about because of their low representation in the population? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that the Republicans and MAGA make these issues of transgender ideology out to be way, way more affecting our society than they actually are. And what it does is it allows Trump's administration to keep his base distracted and not having them be outraged at other things like Donald Trump absolutely decimating the American economy, and again, not doing anything to accomplish any of what he said he was going to do when he was campaigning. So this is exactly the approach that Democrats across the country need to be taking right now. Is this thing over here that Trump is doing is not anywhere close to what Trump said he was going to be doing. And we need to hammer that home every single chance we get, because transgender ideology is not something that affects the vast majority of America, but things like energy costs, things like cost of groceries, cost of rent, economic policy in general are things that affect the vast majority of Americans. So yeah, let's accuse them of the obvious, right? You're not doing what you said you were going to do, and the American people are suffering because of it. Let's elect some politicians that are going to actually fight for the American people, fight for working class people, and not distract the American people with a bunch of nonsense like going after transgender ideology. Just a bunch of absolute nonsense. That's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.